Hello, welcome to the Hidden Gems Screencast. This is Arden Thomas, Cincom Smalltalk Product Manager. Hidden Gems is where we show you capabilities of the product that may not be obvious or that we just want you to know about. Today we're going to talk about files, file names, how to create cross-platform specifications and use of them, and then we'll show you some examples of how to write and read a basic file, information to a file. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, please send them to athomas@cincom.com. So let's get started. I'm on Windows, and notice here's a file string for a directory. It's going to be my main directory. I want to create a subdirectory, so let's execute that. We'll show it this. Okay, this is basically just a string. Now I can take that string and create a file name by saying as file name. Then I can say, for example, this directory, I can ask it, do you exist? And it does not. If you want to make sure it exists before you try to use it, a good technique to use to do that is ensure directory. So if I say file name ensure directory and then I test again, does that exist? It does. So ensure directory will check if it's there. If it's not, it will create it. We're also going to use, for our examples of writing, we're going to write the symbol set that we get from our IEX API, which we demonstrated in a prior screencast. And this gives us 8,733 symbols that we're going to write to a file. So let's show you how to do that. We want to write that to symbols.csv. .csv means comma separated values, which is a standard format with a comma in between each value in the text. So I'm going to create that file string here. Then I can create a write stream file string as file name write stream, which allows me to write to that in stream format. What do I want to put in that file? Well, I want to put all my symbols with a comma in between each one. And if I look at this, the fold with this code right here gives me all my symbols with a comma in between each one. So that's a quick and easy way to create comma separated values. I can simply use next put all. Next put writes one character. Next put all writes a collection of characters. And then very importantly, close that resource. If I now take a look at that file, here's what it looks like. It comes up in Excel by default, and I have all my comma separated values, all of them that I wrote to the file. So that works. Here's the first tip. Instead of this pattern right here, it's recommended that you use this, put it in a block, and say ensure. Why is this beneficial? Ensure says, once I'm done, close this, execute this. But if you run into an error, it will ensure that you close the file and close that operating system resource, which is pretty important. So that's a recommended pattern. What other improvements can we show you? Well, instead of just concatenating strings, which is platform dependent, I can say, okay, this is as file name, and then use construct. And what construct does, notice there's no backslash here, but if I take a look at this, it puts the backslash in. In other words, what this does, construct understands the platform that you're on and how to do it properly for that platform. So it's recommended that you do it this way. Even if you're only using one platform, if you ever change your mind or in the future want to move that code, it'll work much more easily on different platforms if you use construct. We can do the same thing with the file name itself, in this case symbols.csv. We can simply construct that. It'll give us the same thing as we had before. And instead of saying to the string as file name, we've already got a file name. So now I can just say file name, write stream, and I'm all set to go. Another technique you can use is writing the data out in binary format. To do that, you can use the Binary Object Storage Subsystem, or BOS. So you may want to use .bos as a standard. So we'll execute that. And just like how we did it before, we can write out to BOS. This created the BOS file. And here I can see that. I have my CSV file. I have my BOS file. And how do I read that back in? Well, binary object storage on old NoScan file read stream. So let's create that. And then BOS next, again using the stream protocol, reads that in. Let's inspect it. And sure enough, I have my 8,733 symbols read back in from that BOS file. So quick recap. We showed you how to create a file name to see if it exists, how to ensure a directory exists. We showed you a recommended format for ensuring that the file gets closed down properly, even if there's an error. We showed you how to work with these file names cross-platform by using construct. And we showed you how to also use a binary format system to write and read these objects in binary format. If you have any questions or suggestions, please send them to athomas@cincom.com. Until next time, have a great time with Smalltalk.